From translation, RSV Revised Standard Version, this 127th day of the year, today we are reading passages 1 Chronicles 18-21 1 Chronicles chapter 18, verses 1 to 18. After this David defeated the Philistines and subdued them, and took Gath and its villages out of the hand of the Philistines. And he defeated Moab, and the Moabites became servants to David, bringing tribute. David defeated Hadadezer king of Zobah at Hamath, as he went to establish his dominion to the river Euphrates. And David took from him 1,700 horsemen, and 20,000 foot soldiers. And David hamstrung all the chariot horses, but left enough for 100 chariots. And when the Syrians of Damascus came to help Hadadezer king of Zobah, David slew 22,000 men of the Syrians. Then David put garrisons in Syria of Damascus, and the Syrians became servants to David, bringing tribute. And the Lord gave victory to David wherever he went. And David took the shields of gold that were carried by the servants of Hadadezer, and brought them to Jerusalem. And from Betah and from Berotai, cities of Hadadezer, King David took very much bronze. When Toi king of Hamath heard that David had defeated all the army of Hadadezer king of Zobah, he sent his son Joram to King David, to greet him and to bless him, because he had fought against Hadadezer and defeated him. For Hadadezer had often been at war with Toi. And Joram brought with him vessels of silver, and vessels of gold, and vessels of bronze. These King David dedicated to the Lord, together with the silver and gold that he dedicated from all the nations which he subdued, from Syria and from Moab and from the Ammonites and from the Philistines and from Amalek, and from the spoil of Hadadezer the son of Rehob, king of Zobah. And David made a name for himself when he returned from slaying 18,000 Syrians in the valley of Salt. And he put garrisons in Edom. Throughout all Edom he put garrisons, and all the Edomites became servants to David. And the Lord gave victory to David wherever he went. And David reigned over all Israel, and David administered justice and equity to all his people. And Joab the son of Zeruiah was over the army, and Jehoshaphat the son of Ahilud was recorder, and Zadok the son of Ahitubam was priest, and Ahimelech the son of Abiathar was priest, and Seraiah was secretary. And Benaiah the son of Jehoiada was over the Cherethites and the Pelethites, and David's sons were chief officers. 1 Chronicles chapter 19, verses 1 to 19. Now Nahash king of the Ammonites died, and his son Hanun succeeded him. And David said, I will show kindness to Hanun the son of Nahash, as his father showed kindness to me. So David sent by his servants to console him concerning his father. But when the servants of David came to the land of the Ammonites, the princes of the Ammonites said to Hanun, Do you think that David is honoring your father, that he has sent comforters to you? Have not his servants come to you to spy out the land and overthrow it? So Hanun took David's servants and shaved them, and cut off their garments in the middle at their hips, and sent them away. When this was told to David, he sent to meet them, for the men were greatly ashamed. And the king said, Remain at Jericho until your beards have grown, and then return. When the Ammonites saw that they had become a stench to David, Hanun and the Ammonites sent 1,000 talents of silver to hire chariots and horsemen from Mesopotamia, from Aram-Maachah, and from Zobah. They hired 32,000 chariots, and the king of Maacah with his army, who came and encamped before Medeba. And the Ammonites gathered from their cities and came to battle. And when David heard of it, he sent Joab and all the army of the mighty men. And the Ammonites came out and drew up in battle array before the gate of the city, and the kings who had come were by themselves in the open country. When Joab saw that the battle was set against him both in front and behind, he chose some of the best men of Israel and arrayed them against the Syrians. And the rest of the men he put in the charge of Abishai his brother, and he arrayed them against the Ammonites. And he said, If the Syrians are too strong for me, then you shall help me. But if the Ammonites are too strong for you, then I will help you. Be of good courage, and let us be courageous for our people, and for the cities of our God, and may the Lord do what is good in his sight. So Joab and the men who were with him drew near to the battle against the Syrians, and they fled before him. And when the Ammonites saw that the Syrians had fled, they likewise fled before Abishai, and entered the city. Then Joab returned to Jerusalem. But when the Syrians saw that they had been defeated by Israel, they sent messengers and brought out the Syrians who were beyond the Euphrates, with Shophach the commander of the army of Hadadezer at their head. And it was told to David, and he gathered all Israel and crossed the Jordan and came to Helam. The Syrians drew up in array against David and fought with him. And the Syrians fled before Israel, and David slew of the Syrians the men of 7,000 chariots and 40,000 foot soldiers, and also killed Shophach the commander of the army. And when the servants of Hadadezer saw that they had been defeated by Israel, they made peace with David and became his servants, and the Syrians would not help the Ammonites any more. 1 Chronicles chapter 20, verses 1 to 8. In the spring of the year, the time when kings go out to battle, Joab led out the army and ravaged the country of the Ammonites, and came and besieged Rabbah. But David remained at Jerusalem, and Joab struck Rabbah and overthrew it, and David took the crown of their king from his head. He found that it weighed a talent of gold, and in it was a precious stone, and it was placed on David's head, and he brought out the spoil of the city, a very great amount. And he brought out the people who were in it, and set them to labor with saws and with iron picks and with axes, and thus David did to all the cities of the Ammonites, and David and all the people returned to Jerusalem. After this war with the Ammonites, war broke out with the Philistines at Jezer. Then Sibbekai the Hushathite slew Sippai, of the descendants of the giants, and they were subdued. And there was war again with the Philistines, and Elhanan the son of Jair slew Lahmi the brother of Goliath the Gittite, and the shaft of his spear was like a weaver's beam. And there was war at Gath, where there was a man of great stature, who had 6 fingers on each hand, and 6 toes on each foot, 24 in number, and he also was descended from the giants. And when he taunted Israel, Jonathan the son of Shimei, David's brother, slew him. These were descended from the giants in Gath, and they fell by the hand of David and by the hand of his servants. 1 Chronicles chapter 21, verses 1 to 26. Then Satan stood up against Israel, and incited David to number Israel. And David said to Joab and to the commanders of the army, Go, number Israel from Beersheba to Dan, and bring me report that I may know their number. But Joab said, May the Lord make his people 100 times as many as they are. But my lord the king, are they not all my lord's servants? Why then should my lord require this thing? Why should he bring guilt upon Israel? But the king's word prevailed against Joab and the commanders of the army. So Joab and the commanders of the army went out from the presence of the king to number the people of Israel. And they crossed the Jordan and encamped from Aroer on the edge of the river Arnon, and in the city that is in the middle of the valley, and as far as to Gad and to Jazer. Then they came to Gilead, and to the land of Tartim-Hodshi. And they came to Dan-Jaan and around to Sidon, and came to the fortress of Tyre, and to all the cities of the Hivites and Canaanites. And they went out to the Negeb of Judah at Beersheba. When they had gone through all the land, they came to Jerusalem at the end of 9 months and 20 days. And Joab gave the sum of the numbering of the people to the king. In Israel there were 800,000 valiant men who drew the sword, and in Judah 500,000. But David's heart struck him after he had numbered the people. And David said to the Lord, I have sinned greatly in what I have done. But now, O Lord, I pray, take away the guilt of your servant, for I have done very foolishly. And when David rose in the morning, the word of the Lord came to the prophet Gad, David's seer, saying, Go and say to David, Thus says the Lord, 3 things I offer you. Choose one of them that I may do it to you. So Gad came to David and said to him, Thus says the Lord, choose what you will, 3 years of famine, or 3 months to be swept away before your foes, while the sword of your enemies overtakes you, or 3 days of the sword of the Lord, pestilence in the land, with the angel of the Lord destroying throughout all the territory of Israel. Now consider, and decide what answer I shall return to him who sent me. Then David said to Gad, I am in great distress. Let us fall into the hand of the Lord, for his mercy is very great, but let me not fall into the hand of man. So the Lord sent a pestilence upon Israel, and 70,000 men of Israel fell. And God sent an angel to Jerusalem to destroy it. But as he was destroying, the Lord saw, and he repented him of the evil, and said to the angel who was destroying, It is enough, now stay your hand. And the angel of the Lord was standing by the threshing floor of Araunah the Jebusite. Then David lifted up his eyes, and saw the angel of the Lord standing between earth and heaven, and in his hand a drawn sword stretched out over Jerusalem. And David and the elders of Israel, clothed in sackcloth, fell upon their faces. And David said to God, Is it not I who commanded the people to be numbered? It is I who have sinned and done very wrong, but these sheep, what have they done? Let your hand, I pray, be against me and against my father's house. And Gad came that day to David and said to him, Go up, raise an altar to the Lord on the threshing floor of Araunah the Jebusite. Then David said, Here it is, the oxen for the burnt offering shall be for me. And Araunah said to David, Let my lord the king take and offer up what seems good to him. Here are the oxen for the burnt offering, and the threshing sledges and the yokes of the oxen for the wood. All this, O king, Araunah gives to the king. And Araunah said to the king, May the Lord your God accept you. But the king said to Araunah, No, but I will buy it from you for a price. For I will not offer burnt offerings to the Lord my God that cost me nothing. So David bought the threshing floor and the oxen for 50 shekels of silver. And David built there an altar to the Lord, and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings. And the Lord heeded the prayers for the land, and the plague was averted from Israel.